Hey, folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building. I'm excited to be with the man himself, Mr. Moneyball. His name is Desmond Ferguson Sr. You see the logo, you know what's going down, but we have something very exciting to talk about, the growth of NIL in Michigan, and this man who has been a stalwart for amateur sports, collegiate sports, professional sports. You see this brand and logo all throughout the country and even the world. I have Desmond Ferguson Senior here talking about the NIL pathway from Moneyball. First of all, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm great, man. I'm so happy that with all this great historic things that are happening, you and I have been kind of talking through this over the years, and I'm so appreciative of you, and also inspired by how you've been able to take your brand and create a very unique, what we're calling NIL pathway. And you started out by launching with your first NIL athlete, Mr. KJ Torbert Jr. going for. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's only right that we start at the top of the totem pole. With KJ being the best player in the state of Michigan, and just seeing him grow over the years, and putting that hard work, dedication to get where he at, and it was just a perfect fit.
Here he is, right here, looking good, man. I say, you got you a beeper now, like a young fella getting it in. I love what you did, and that's quite obvious. Oh man, the imagery. Oh man, this is so sweet. I mean, that's actually his signature. I would take it. So talk about what went into this process, and we're going to talk about some of the pieces right here. Can you describe what this piece is right here, Desmond?
Yeah. He came in and sat down, him and his mother, and they showed me the original picture. And obviously, if you know about high school NIL, you can't use team jerseys, schools, names, et cetera, et cetera. So that was the actual game picture that he had in his high school uniform. So we obviously switched it up. One of his signature, things that he does, putting his hand over his mouth, whatever he's doing, celebrating.
That's the KJ. He doing the KJ,
et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just wanted to play off that, get him in game action, and put it on some tees and hoodies.
Man, that's great, man. So with your extensive experience, I'm not patronizing you. I mean, you've seen it all, man. And this community is very fortunate. The state of Michigan is very fortunate. Let's just call it what it is. The game is very fortunate to have you. So to go from your apparel experience and being able to weave this in, just talk about what it meant from you. And we'll actually go through some of the pathway information you discussed. So we'll start with the pathway program. What was just your thought behind creating an actual program to go forward?
Yeah, from our experience dealing with NIL at the college level when that first dropped, we had 18 different student athletes from all across the country, from Baylor to University of Alabama, Michigan State, you name it. We had quite a few student athletes, and some good things and some bad things. I learned from it, so I knew it was coming down the pipeline here in Michigan, not knowing when it was going to happen, but we wanted to approach it a completely different way, and kind of how we did it before was strictly transactional. And that wasn't truly a success for us. We wanted something that kind of hit close to home, that was built off relationships. That's kind of, what we build, what I build everything around is building and maintaining relationships and doing something that we could help these young student athletes, the elite ones, get ready for college at the Division I, Division II level. So just started brainstorming and kind of came up with our, NIL pathway program.
I love that. Then we talk about what it is, which you pretty much shared. I want to get to something else. Talk about what athletes gain, the benefit that the athletes get. We know how that helps you with benefit to your business, which is not what you're only about, but talk about what the athletes actually gain.
Yeah, starting off, we're a small but growing business. We're not doing any strictly financial transactional deals with anyone. One of the things that's would be involved with any of our deals is obviously some Moneyball apparel. But more importantly, and particularly those that are serious, and that's the ones we hope to get, getting them ready for the collegiate level. Now it's a business. You're a business. How you gonna approach your social media, how you approach photo shoots, video shoots, different meetings that you may have with a potential business that you have a real NIL, not the NIL collective. Not to say that's not real, but the name, image, and likeness that you may have with a business. So we kind of preparing you for that. Me being in business for over 23 years. Allowing them to shadow and be with me and ask questions and get insight on different things. We've been doing a free basketball clinic for a number of years. We do things in the community, purpose-driven things. So they're allowed to be a part of those things, and hopefully they'll have their own and really try to shape them into being not only great young men and women, but hopefully if they go in the business aspect, that we can help them that way as well. So I wouldn't say a straight internship type, but really helping them outside of just the game of sport. Because I just, how I was being in college, becoming a pro. If I had looked back, I wish I would have interned or learned from some of the business folks, because you only playing this game of sport for so long. And then, that ball going to stop bouncing, or, going to have no more air in it. You ain't going to be able to kick it no more. So, yeah, that, in a nutshell, that's kind of what it's about, collectively doing more things that's not just, transactional.
Let me tell you why I think that's so important, Desmond, because my understanding is as the NIL was developing in Michigan, there was supposed to be a year of education. But I just think some things took place, lawsuits were pending, and they had to kind of just push forward. So there's never really been a full-on education piece. So what I understand from you is, with all due respect to the other business owners who kind of will teach the young people as they go, just naturally, you're being very deliberate, very intentional in saying, let me show you what you need to go forward. And I think that's really going to be a great service for all of our student athletes that are leaving Michigan. Because my biggest concern, Desmond, was going to be young people would leave the state of Michigan if it wasn't an NIL state for high school and get to different states. And what will people say? Hey, man, these kids in Michigan not ready. They get down here. They don't really have the aptitude not only to be, great student athletes, but be prepared. And I think what you're doing is so important. I want to touch on something else you mentioned, too. We talk about the standard. And Desmond, I'll get out in front of this one for you, man. I'll take a bullet for my brother on this one. I can only manage, man. You're so community orientated. You're so accessible and so available. You've been dealing with these, individuals for so long, man. How do you create a buffer that everybody is not a Moneyball NIL pathway student athlete? You kind of mentioned the elite level. You mentioned Division I, but how do we create a buffer to let people understand that respectfully, this is not for everybody?
Yeah, it's tough. In this game, you got to say no sometime. And, it's people that I've grown up with that I know that's been great supporters of me and Moneyball. And have, young, student athletes, whether it be middle school, high school, that's inquiring about NIL or how can they get their kids involved. And this is not for, what we're doing is not for any and every student athlete. We really want elite athletes, meaning athletes that have ability to play the Division I and Division II level. We want to prepare them for that level of success. And that's no knock to anybody that, doesn't reach that level, but, we have to be able to cipher some type of way. We can't, we only have so much bandwidth to, have so many, student athletes under us in NIL. So for me, it's more about the quality as opposed to quantity.
Okay, brother, I appreciate your response, and that would go over in all places. But let me push back a little bit and take a little lower. I've been buying this merchandise for years, man. You know how much, you can't give my man something, you can't give my girl something. I'm talking about people who will make a very emotional response to what you're doing and have this, say it, spirit of entitlement to say that just because they've been supporting you in certain kind of ways, there's an expectation there could be some kind of acknowledgement. How do you respond to that? And I know that was tough to push back to you like that, but I think that's another reality that you may have out there.
Yeah, naturally, many of us as human beings are emotional. So you got to take the emotion out of it. At the end of the day, this is business. What value does your student athlete really bring to the table? Let's just say, throwing a number out there, let's just say a parent think their kid is worth, okay, my child should be getting $10,000, or $1,000 a month, over, $12,000 over a period of a year. My question would be, do you really feel your child is that much value? Can they bring in $12,000 right now or over a 12-month period? Is that realistic? That's
well,
the real
12,000 plus.
Huh?
That amount plus, because that's the amount the investment is, but you got to have a return on investment bigger than that number that you're being blessed with.
Yeah, no, we're not some multi-billion-dollar company that can just, have tax write-off and use it for marketing dollars. No, we have to get a return on our investment. It has to be a win-win. It has to be mutually beneficial, and that's anything that we do in this game of business. So at the end of the day, it is business. We can't just do things just for the look or just for the sake of it. It has to really make sense.
I understand that. I think that's a great response, and I like the fact that you just kind of took my words and challenged that by saying, let's take the emotion out of it. This is about business. What's the real return on investment? And those are normally high-level Division I athletes that have a great social media following, can draw in others. Can you point to any other NIL deal you have and all those things? And not that I got to get out in front of you, a big fella, you can handle your own, but I just think it's important that, people kind of give you the kind of support you need to where you shouldn't feel bombarded with that. You're doing a great thing. And lastly, one of your last slides you shared with the bottom line, with the time that we have, how would you just kind of wrap up what's happening, where you see things going, and just give me your thoughts about this NIL pathway going forward?
Yeah, I think everybody is still trying to, figure it out, parents, kids, coaches, et cetera. I mean, it's pretty, black and white for the most part. For us, we want to continue to, get the right student athletes. And to be honest, the goal for me wasn't to get, because it just dropped so late, it wasn't get to have a graduating senior like we have in, KJ, but, he's a special young man, and, what he's done and what he's going to do makes it very unique, and, in that relationship. But, we really want to be involved with some high school students that's going to be there for a couple of years to really be able to help them throughout their development in high school years, and getting ready for, like I said, that next level at the college level. So, we will be having more signings as we move forward. We're not in a rush. This thing is here, to stay. It's going to be around. So, and we're going to be around, and we're going to attack it the right way.
Well, just like you're getting those notifications, things are happening over at Moneyball Sportswear. You're being a great leader, not only in this mid-Michigan area, but throughout the state and throughout the country. You know how much I appreciate our friendship and also our business connection as far as, hey, what does it go do to get these young people to the next level? And you're doing a great job, and thank you for coming and sharing.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. You're doing a great job as well, man. You everywhere. They never there, man. Everywhere I look, you there, man. And the way you pour out and are passionate about what you do and put others first, we appreciate you. You've been a gem to community, to the community on all sports, not just basketball, football, you name it. You there. So, keep doing what you're doing. We need you.
I will, brother. And we will continue to support each other. So with that being said, folks, this is Lindsey Huddleston with Mr. Moneyball himself, Desmond Ferguson Sr., and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.